morning, beloveds. I don't know where you're located, but spring has sprung here. Our allergies are in full bore, and the trees are leafing out in that really pretty fresh, pale green. The squirrels were playing today. The kids were playing soccer today, too. And then we did see a couple of blue jays. So our resident blue jays are definitely in the park. So that was good. We only got one, and it was a snatch and grab, and I caught him flying out of the frame. So, but we'll see. So, it's always interesting. All right. And it is March 2nd. Our title is God's Hands, and our author is Emilie, Cady. And this is from How I Used Truth from 1939. And this is from Unity. Okay. So, God's hands. There is but one hand in the universe. It is God's hand. Whenever you have felt that your hand was empty, it has been because you believed yourself something separate from God. Have you not felt at times great desire to give to others something that they needed or wanted, and yet have not been able to give? Have you not said many times within yourself, "Oh, if only I had money, how I would relieve anxiety and distress. If it were only in my power, how quickly would I give a lucrative position to this one needing work, freedom to that one wanting release from material bondage," and so forth. Have you not often said, "If only I could afford it, I would so gladly give up time and service to others with no thought of return"? Whence, suppose you, comes this desire to give? Is it from the mortal you? Nay, nay. It is the voice of God, it's voice of the giver of all good gifts, crying out through you. It is God's desire to give through you. Cannot God afford to give whenever and whatever Spirit will, and not be made poorer, but richer thereby? Your hand is God's hand. My hand is God's hand. Our spirit reaches out through these Spirit's only hands to give Spirit's gifts. So this conscious consecration of our hands to God helps us to recognize them in God's hands, in which is, no longer shall be, the fullness of all things. It's one of those where I'm going to read the reading, I'm going to put the book down, I'm going to think about it for a minute. Towards the end of this, when I like to remind you who you are, I do say that you are God in action, you are spirit in motion, or your spirit in motion, God in action, however I say it, because the words are interchangeable. So Miss Cady is making 2 points here. One, our desire to do good is God speaking through us. Anytime you desire to do good, that is the divine creative within you seeking outlet. And I would say that anytime you seek to do good or beauty, so I want to include art in that is the divine seeking expression through you. Writing songs, painting pictures, writing poetry, I would even say probably doing this, because there's a lot of us that do this. This is the divine seeking expression through us, especially since the whole goal of me doing this is to help enlighten and relieve and reveal truth. So it's it's the divine seeking expression through me, and that's so. And then that's her second point. We are literally the hands and feet of God. We are the eyes and ears of God. We are the listening heart of God. You know, when people come to us and fall apart in our presence, then that's when we get the opportunity to be that soft place, that, you know, that soft place of spirit, where, you know, we're not going to judge them for falling apart in front of us because of what they're going through. And it's a sacred, and I want to say a sacred duty, but I don't even want to say it's a sacred duty. I think it's a sacred gift, you know, when we get to be that. It's one of the things when we were doing the food market with the food bank, when we would set up in the parking lot of the school and give food to anybody who drove by, and we didn't ask their circumstances, you know. We just said, hey, you need food? Let us give it to you. And more than once, we had people tell us, you know, you're literally the answer to our prayer. And so we look for opportunities to do things like that as a spiritual center, because it's good, you know, and it's us responding to that impulse, that creative impulse of the divine to bring more good into the world. And it's one of those, and she says, you know, if we're giving out of the divine, we can't be made poorer by it. We'll definitely be made richer. There was a richness in spirit in us doing that. So, and trust me, we would still be doing it. The food bank that was like, well, and here we are. So, you know, when you feel that impulse to do good for another, then that is the divine. We like to create that illusion of separation, and yet then we'll feel that tug. It's like, here, go do this. Here, go do this good. Go do this good. Go do this good. That you're not going to get any credit for, that you're not going to get, as she said, you're not going to get any return for. That's the divine moving you. And I would argue the same thing. If you are encouraged to create something beautiful, then again, that is the divine. The only hands that God has are these. You know, look down. The hands that you're looking at, those are the hands of God. Those are the only hands God has. The good news is God has, 8.8 billion of them. And if we all remembered that these right here, you know, the ones you're looking at, in your hands, if we all remembered that those were the hands of God and all of the good that they can do, the world would be a better place, right? And frequently, so that, you know, in Science of Mind, we treat for this or something better. And one of the things that we treat for is that for everybody to know that, you know, that they are a beloved child of the divine, that they are a beloved expression of the divine, that they remember who they are. And if they remember that, then they can remember, you know, that they have the hands of God that they can do good with. And that's what Miss Cady's point is. You know, when you feel that impulse, that creative impulse to do good or to create beauty, that is God moving you. That is spirit moving you. That is the divine desiring to express through you. And it's one of those things that feeds our soul. And that's what makes it so important. That you'll see the quote up on all of the social medias. It's like, don't ask what the world needs. Go do what lights you up. You know, that's what the world needs. The world needs more people doing the things that light them up. And that means creating art, and creating beautiful things and doing wonderful things for each other. Random acts of kindness are like one of the best things ever. Especially when you can do it for a stranger, because then they're like, you know you're never going to see that person again, and then they're left with this warm feeling, and you get that answering return feeling. So that, I believe that's what she's talking about, and I love it, and I love the idea of, hey, you know what, when I feel that tug in my soul to go do something good for another, that's God speaking to me. That's God desiring to express through me. I'm just adding in the beauty because I believe that. I believe that, anytime we get to create something, I believe that's God desiring to express through us, the divine expressing through us. So, yeah, 1939, and she's going, you know what? You know where the hands of God's are? Right at the end of your wrists. I love it. Okay. Let's see. So this conscious consecration of our hands to God's hands helps us to recognize them as God's hands, in which is, not shall be, is the fullness of all things. Don't futurize your good. All right? So, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, answer the pull, answer the tug, in whatever way you can. We can't always answer it with money, but we can answer it with time. So when that person comes to you and falls apart, you can hold the space for them to fall apart, so that they can pick up their pieces and put themselves back together again. It honestly, like I said, I want to call it a sacred duty, but I don't think so. I think it's a sacred gift. When we can answer that call of good. And so that is the mission today. Should we choose to accept it, to answer that call, to create something beautiful, to be something beautiful, to do something beautiful, to do something good in the world. Because it's the divine desiring to express through us. Answer the call. And then the other mission is the same mission I give you every day, which it's the spiritual practice of self-care. Do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Be it one thing, be it three things, be it all things. In the end, my goal is that everything you do for yourself and others is loving, kind, and compassionate. For a variety of reasons. One, you are your own best test subject. Two, the main reason is so that everything you do for you deserve your own love, you deserve your own kindness, you deserve your own compassion. All right, that's why I suggest it every day. I also want to remind you can't pour from an empty cup, so it's very important to take care of yourself. And my jumping off points, my starting points, are always going to be take a deep breath before you speak. That's why sometimes I'll do the reading and then I'll set it down, and I'll give myself that pause, because I need to think about what I'm going to say. I need to think about it. I want to respond instead of react. And I'll remind you what I like to say is when we react, that's who we've been taught to be. When we respond, that's who we actually are. Don't beat yourself up about your first thought. Okay? And then I like to say, take a walk, take a nap, take a break. And I mean it both literally and metaphorically. Okay? Literally, go take a walk. Get your blood moving, get your body moving, get the oxygen going. But sometimes we do need to walk away from things, and sometimes we need to walk to things. So especially sometimes when you see everybody running away, that may be a situation you want to walk to, because you may be the one person that can do something about that situation. That's what like firefighters and police officers and paramedics do. Medical EMTs. Emergency, yeah. They run to situations that everybody else is running away from. So, there's that. Taking a nap. That's the human version of what we do for electronics when they're misbehaving. We turn them off, turn them back on again. So there is that. And then it is also about making sure you manage your stress. Sleeping is when you do your best healing, so make sure you're getting some of that. And then drink plenty of water. No. take a break. The water comes in a minute. Take a break. Sometimes we need to take a break and go do something else for a little while. So, I'm just going to lose my mind today, and that's okay. I got to get my notes organized. I've, I think 3 things on my plate today. I have a memorial to attend. I do have, I got to get my notes organized. I got a play to go to tonight. Yay, I'm super excited about that. And then I also have a phone call I got to make. So, yeah. All right. Where was I going? I don't know. Okay. So somewhere in there, I'm going to take a nap too, and take a break. Yep, I've lost track of my thoughts here. Eat dessert first. I do say it. I like to say it. I mean it. Occasionally, it's a good idea to eat dessert first. Sometimes you just need to get something in you, and then you can make a good choice for whatever you're going to eat for food. But I also mean it metaphorically. What I mean is, don't save the good stuff. Your life is a special occasion. Please treat it as such. Don't wait for a special occasion to do things. Go ahead and make the occasion special. So wear the fancy clothes, eat the fancy foods, use the fancy dishware and glassware, and all of that. Do it now. Don't wait. Don't wait. You can take an ordinary day and make it extraordinary. You have that power. All right. And then I also want to remind you that joy is a quality of God. So, please, no matter what's going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your life, you still deserve joy. Please make room for joy. Okay? It is a quality of God. Therefore, it is a quality of you. Joy comes from the inside, and it's how you create happiness. So, make room for joy. Okay. The rest of the suggestions are basic self-care. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you. Drink plenty of water. You did see me with my water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better, your body works better, your skin looks better when you are well hydrated. And then get that early in your day bright light. We went to the park today, and it's cloudy. There was no blue sky. There was no it wasn't so thick that you got some sun, but the bright light. So I'm definitely leaning into the artificial light today to help me get done what I need to get done. So I encourage you to lean into whatever light you need. And if the light in your house isn't bright enough, then Google sun lamp or seasonal effect disorder lights. They are not expensive. Don't spend a whole lot of money on them, but they can be very helpful in resetting that circadian rhythm. Because science says that the best sunlight is between 7 and 9 in the morning. And if that is out of your, time you get up before that or after that because of your schedule, then, artificial light can help. If you need a sun lamp, they're available. All right. And now we're at the Ernest Holmes quote. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. So that quote means 2 things to me. 1, it's all God. It's all God. That's incredible, okay? It's all God. And occasionally I think we need to be reminded of that. It's all God. But what it also means is that heaven is not a locality. That's another Ernest Holmes quote. It's not a locality. It's not a place we have to get to. It's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. I would think, Jimmy Buffett had passed recently. If his music talked about that heavenly mindset, and he created it wherever he went. That's what we're talking about. And I would say he answered that call from the divine to express in beautiful and wonderful ways. He sang about heartbreak, but he also reminded you, hey, heaven, it's this. So, and Emma Curtis Hopkins and now listening to Jimmy Buffett music is probably one of the ways, but Emma Curtis Hopkins has the other one, which is to look for the good and praise it, which is just another way of counting your blessings. It's another way of saying count your blessings. Look for the good. And I'm talking about the little good. Like, one of the things you can put on your, if you know how to fold a fitted sheet, that's one of your goods, okay? When I learned how to do that, the internet is wonderful for a variety of things, including learning to fold a fitted sheet. And once I learned how to do it, I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. And it works. So, you want to learn how to do that. It's a good, and you can write it on your list. So, all right. Oh, Rita just sauntered into the room. I'm going to wrap this up. Where am I going to wrap this up? Oh, I'm going to remind you. Okay, I guess I'm at this part where I remind you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I encourage you to take a gander at that's an old phrase. Take a gander at the social media. I'm particularly proud of the 2 YouTube channels because there are hours and hours and hours of content between the 2 channels. I archive the books that I have done on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel, and then there's some other random goodies. Just go check out the playlist if you want to see what I've been up to, and then on the Creative Life Spiritual Center page, everybody has a playlist, and Danielle's been doing poetry, so there is that I added that to her playlist. So if you're curious about the poems that she's done on the stage, they're in her playlist. So go look for Danielle's playlist on the Creative Life. All right, so there's that. Yeah. Oh, email info@creativelife.org. I'm just all this. I've got other things that I just need to wrap this up because apparently I got other things that I'm thinking about. Including my stomach. My stomach is going, you have not eaten yet. You need to do that. Yes, I do. So, email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on the constant contact if you want to know what's going on with the center. Okay. Because I need to create that reel as well. Woo! I got a lot to do today. Here's where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a catter day. Spend time with your cats on Saturday, right? A get stuff done day, a take a break for a play day, a go see a play day, a random act of kindness day, a remember who you are day, a practice being God's hands day, create something beautiful day, a loving day, a kind day, a compassionate day, a good day, and if that's too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark, or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right? Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who God knows you to be. Or the divine knows you to be. Whatever word you want to use there. All right? Get to know who the divine knows you to be. Peel back the layers of everything that you have been told that you are by anybody and everything. Because I can promise you one thing. The person that the divine knows you to be is good. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. I'm going to remind you, Reverend David will be on with you around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. And then we will have an amazing service for you on Facebook Live on Sunday, because today is Saturday, so tomorrow's Sunday, at least in 2024. And we're starting a new series, and I'm privileged to get to kick off the series, so that's why I've got to go get my notes organized. All right, beloveds, take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.